So I learned something recently that explained so much about me and also about a lot of people I know. And it's something that can actually help determine how successful you'll be as a health coach. My name is Nicole Piper, and I left my career as a brand marketing executive for companies like Nickelodeon, MTV, and the Sharper Image, so I could do work that really aligned with my passion for natural health and wellness. For the past 5 years, I've taken everything I learned in helping turn those companies into multi-million-dollar global brands, and I adapted it for health coaches who want to build a successful business. And since then, my approach has helped over 500 coaches market themselves and go on to build low-maintenance 6 and even 7-figure businesses. Okay, so what is this thing that I learned that can help determine how successful a person will be as a health coach? Well, believe it or not, it has nothing to do with the person's credentials. It has nothing to do with their niche or how they help people. And it really has nothing to do with their track record either. The one thing most health coaches who are successful have in common is they're towards oriented. So let me explain. People are either towards oriented or away from oriented. Now, if you're away from oriented, you're really thinking about all the things you want to get away from, right? So you're thinking about, your problems that you have, things that aren't going right. So those are the things that really take up a lot of your mental bandwidth, is really just your problems. And you probably know people like this. I know I do. It almost seems like, they have just a string of problems. There's like always something, right? Well, those are away from oriented people. Now, I personally believe that you attract what you think about, right? So if you think about problems all the time, that's what you're going to attract into your life, more problems. So now if you're towards focused, what you're thinking about is opportunities. So people who are towards focused really envision a bigger future for themselves. So what do they attract? Opportunities. Now, I'm actually living proof of this. I had no intention of starting my own business 6 years ago. I'd worked in the corporate world because I really wanted the security of, having a steady paycheck. And I have to say, I really stuck with it even when I was miserable. There were a lot of times that I was really unhappy with with my work situation. Then my life got turned upside down and I had to deal with a lot of loss in a short period of time. But what came out of that was this really, I guess I'll call it like an unwavering desire to not do anything that wasn't a hell yeah. And that really kind of became my mantra. It's like I wanted my life to be full of hell yeah things, even my job. So that meant finding a way to make a living that was really more aligned with who I am. Now, I know for sure, really, that it was because I have this towards-oriented attitude that I was able to get through that really dark period and to go on to create Piper Wellness Marketing. Now, of course, this doesn't just apply to health coaches. I'm not a health coach myself. This really applies to everyone's idea of being towards-oriented and away from oriented. And people who are towards-oriented are more successful, period. That's all there is to it. So now what do you do if you're not towards oriented? Well, luckily there is something you can do. You can actually shift what you focus on and what you focus your energy and your thoughts on. It does take some effort and practice, but it makes a world of difference. Okay, so what do you do? Well, the first step is really you actually want to become aware of that mental chatter going on in your head. We all have it, right? What can happen is, like, first of all, a lot of times you're not even really aware of it going on because it's just like playing, in the back of your mind. But if you can really kind of tune into it every now and then and just notice to begin with that, oh gosh, that's kind of negative, or wow, I'm really thinking a lot about problems and things that aren't going right. So don't try and change it at first, just kind of get in the habit of noticing it. And then what you can do is you can slowly try to change it. So you could say something like, you could give yourself, okay, for the next, 5 minutes, I'm going to try to catch myself every time I, think of something negative and just kind of shut it down. And the thing is, it's like, obviously if you're watching a show that you like, or you're kind of involved in a conversation, you're not necessarily going to really hear that mental chatter. So you don't want to really distract your brain, right? You want to be able to allow that chatter to go on and kind of be aware of it and just stop it when you notice it being negative. And it's really kind of through that repetition. Actually, if you meditate, another great thing you could do, you actually learn this, because what you're doing, most meditations, or actually many kinds of meditations, is that when you notice that you've got a thought, it doesn't matter what it is, you just kind of, let it go. And so if you want to be doing the same thing with this negative self-talk. All right, well, that's really all I had for you today. I hope this helps, and I hope you're either already towards oriented, or that you want to put in some of the work to get there, because it really will make a difference, not only in your business, but in life in general. All right, that's all for now. Bye-bye.